All right, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome everyone to our balance class. We're going to start. If you'd like, you may remove your shoes. You don't have to, but without shoes, you get a little more connection to the ground. You're waking up all those neuroreceptors in the feet. And so there's a little more benefit. I've said this before, but we have over 52 muscles in and around our feet, right? That's a significant percentage of muscles in the body, just in that area. So you want to try to get them working as much as you can. Unfortunately, our shoes don't do a whole lot. In fact, turn off most of those muscles. So by spending some time, without shoes, it's really beneficial. You don't have to do it in this class, but I would recommend at home or sometime just spend 30 minutes a day as best as you can barefoot. Yep. All right, because that'll give those work on that arch and everything. So let's stand nice and tall, do a little breathing, let the crown of the head rise. Taking the time to get nice, low, deep breathing, working the diaphragm the way it's supposed to work. It's compressing pressure down toward the pelvis. And that helps stabilize your hips and your back. All right, take a nice breath in and out. Warm up the ankles. We're going to shift the weight side to side, lift the toes, try to keep the toes pointing forward. All right, and then the heels. Do a slight similar thing, but we're going to bend the knees just a little bit, somewhere comfortable where you got a little bit of a bend, and then lift the toes. Just alternate lifting the toes, keeping the knees slightly bent, working a slight variation to our ankles, keeping the knees bent, and then lift the heels, keeping the knees bent. All right, very good, and relax back up. Bring one foot forward. And let's do a nice weight shift forward and back. This is also gently stretching those calves. All right, switching feet. Forward, shifting forward and back. All right, and very nice. Widen your stance. Shift side to side gently. Okay, and relax. Very good. Circle the hips. Hip circle. And reverse directions. Okay, very good. Let's do our hinge. So really emphasize nice straight back, tilting from the pelvis. Good. Then let's go into like just a gentle body weight squat. Again, emphasizing that hinge. So the pelvis tilts forward as the knees bend, just as low as you feel comfortable. And then we squeeze the glutes to come up, down, and up, just a comfortable body weight squat. Very good. All right, bring one arm up to a gentle side bend for the lats. Side of the body. Inhale. Other side, gently. Relax. Do it again. This time though, try to reach for your back. The same thing. Back. Other side, reach for your back. And relax. Roll the shoulders back. Good. All right. I bring the elbows in and out, open, close. Bring up the chest. And then keep the arms back and gently glide up just to a height that's comfortable for you. And relax. Roll again the shoulders back. Let's do a little neck stretch, looking down. Gently back up. Tuck the chin back. Look over the shoulder. Across, look over the other shoulder. Back to the middle. Gently tilt the head. Middle, tilt. Let's do it again, looking down. Gently back up. Look over the shoulder. Cross, look over the other shoulder. Back to the middle, gently tilt. Middle, tilt. And then we'll do a light head circle. And reverse. Very good. Rolling the shoulders back. Relax. Nice job. All right, let's go right into our hip strengthening exercises. So nice and controlled. So we're going to come up, we're going to pause, and then slowly bring it down. So we're going to start with our hip flexion. So we bring it up as high as you can, slowly down. 1, 2. The slower, the more you're engaging that muscle strength. 3. 5, keeping the foot open, the toe spread. 2 more. Very good. Okay, shake it out. Let's get the other side. Get ready. Lift the knee. Slowly down. Good balance. You're welcome to hang on to the chair as needed for balance. 2 more. Good. Okay. Get up. Go to the other side. Out to the side now. Just gonna go out. Slowly back. 3, 4. Slowly back. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and very good. Other side. Ready? 1. Keep those toes pointing forward. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good. Going backward, hip extension. Back, slowly back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other leg. 1, 2, 3. Slowly. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good. Shake it out. Okay. Now we're gonna do the squat, just comfortable squat motion. All right. Utilizing those hip muscles, really focus on the glutes as you stand up. Relax the glutes as you sit down, but as you stand up, as you come up, squeeze the glutes. At the top, you should be able to tighten those glute muscles. All right. 2, 3. Going down slow. Come up kind of quick. 4, 5. Drive through the heels. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good. And then ankles. All right, so let's shift to one side. The weight is mostly over this leg, mostly focus on this heel. The other heel is going to be there just for balance. All right, so shift the weight and lift up. 1. If you're sitting, and you can do this seated as well. Feel free. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, check it out. Very good. All right. So let's put that all together. I'll just kind of follow along. It's going to be kind of a super set, basically, of combining all these movements. So we're going to go with control, nice and slow. We're going to go knee, slowly down, knee, slowly down, to the side, slowly back, side, slowly back, backward, backward. Get into your squat position, squat. Then one foot and the other foot. Okay, easy. All right, that was round 1. Here we go. Let's do it again. Here we go. Ready? Knee, knee, side, side, back, back, squat, heel, heel. And it's focused on one heel and then the other heel. All right, again. Knee, knee, side, side. And try to maintain a wide stance. Back, back, squat, heel, heel. One side, one side. All right, again. Knee, knee, side, control, back, back, squat, heel, heel. Okay. It's 4. We won't do all 10. We'll do like 8. All right, 4 more. Here we go. Knee, knee, side, side, back, back, squat, heel, heel, and relax. All right, again, knee, knee, side, side, back, back, squat, heel, heel. All right, two more. Ready, knee, knee, side, side, back, back, squat, heel, heel. Good. Last one, knee, knee, side, side, back, back, squat, heel, heel. All right. Take it out if you need to sit for a second. Feel free. Relax for a moment. Catch your breath. All right. So today we're going to work on our three balance strategies that our body goes through that basically challenge our limits of stability. So limit of stability is just how far you can basically push the the weight shift that your body before you lose your balance, right? The point at which you lose your balance. So the first part of the body that's really in control of your balance is going to be your ankles primarily, right? Your ankles are where your feet are connected to the ground, and so your calves and the tibialis in front play a role in supporting us over our feet, right? If they weren't there, we would have no stability, right? So that's the first line. However, they only provide a little bit, just enough basically to keep us upright. And so, we have a little more range going side to side, right? If we're just keeping the body lined, but that's because of our, our feet are together. If we bring our feet together, right? So a little less range, right? If it's wider, we widen that plane, and so you can go further. But if you were just bring your feet together, go forward, backward, you can only go a couple inches in each direction, and that's where we support ourselves through our balance. So practice that a little bit, get aware of it. And what we go into typically, and I see some of you already doing it, if we lose our balance, as we're going here, our hips will kind of come forward. Or sometimes we bypass the ankles altogether and we just kind of, are going to be moving through the hips, right? Which is fine. That's actually kind of good. Through the hips alone, we have a lot more range. We could actually, counterbalance to the side. So go ahead and try that a few times, kind of reach all different directions. Got a lot more range than we did if we were just reaching with the ankles at the ankle level. So that's the hip strategy. Now the hip strategy is really important. However, we don't use it as much as we can when we lose our balance. So when we're losing our balance, so if we've exceeded our limit of stability, the really common one is to do the step strategy, which is stepping forward to immediately elongate that plane of motion that we have balance in. Otherwise, we will fall over. So, so if you're really, if you're doing a trust fall or something and no one's there, then your foot is probably going to be the first thing to do. However, it's okay. However, well, we're going to practice it next. So, but what I want you to practice even more, because a really big fall is just the step that, it's not as effective. And if there's something in front of us, we will lose, we will probably trip, right? And that will block us and then we tip over. So it's better for our hips. We have a lot of mass in the glutes and the hips. So if we lose our balance, if we can quickly push those hips back, that will save us. That'll keep us in line. That'll keep us within our limits of stability. All right. So I want you to kind of get in that practice. Be behind your chair maybe as you practice it, just so you don't, have to go into your step strategy. But I want you to be here, and then when you lose your balance, bring your hip back. It also helps let those hands or those arms move. And actually the natural thing that happens as you lose your balance is the arms actually kind of come back with the hips. If the arms come forward, it actually will kind of bring forward. So kind of bringing here, still having the hands in front, like if you, were to fall, obviously you don't want your hands in front of you, but bringing everything back as we go. Right. So a little easier lost our balance, hips and arms. And then you may even, I mean, if it's really bad, you really want to do it, swing those arms behind you. But I would say try to get more in the habit of opening here so the hands are still there in case you still fall, so you can protect your face. But all right, like you're trying to scare somebody. So, and hips come back. All right, so kind of letting yourself lose balance and then catching yourself with the hips, or keep the arms totally, loose and relaxed, and just practice. See what, just let them naturally. Don't even think too hard about what the arms do. Typically, they're gonna help you. Good.
I have the tendency of actually bending my knee.
Knee a little bit? Yeah. That's totally fine. Yeah. So you could, bend the knee as you bring the hip back. That's perfectly fine. Yeah. Doesn't have to be in fact, bending the knee will allow you to bring more of your hip back, right? So try that as well. I oftentimes just demonstrate the straight leg version, but actually, as Steve indicated, you can bend the knee to bring that hip back, especially if that hinge is difficult for you already. So do that a couple more times. You're reaching for something, but you lose your balance. Good, you catch. Sometimes still have to take that step. All right, very good. Shake it out for a little bit. And then just we'll do one quick round of the step strategy. Again, not something we necessarily need to practice, but just to get the idea of the limit of stability. The final balance is that even before our brain can think of it, when we lose our balance, actually our spinal cord will just send a signal that will make us take that step. So, that's why the step is so natural, so easy. It's just a quick spinal response. So try that. Doesn't have to be a big, just a gentle trust fall. Still keep your hands, sorry, probably not together like I was doing, but. Helpful. But again, better, so let's just reinforce, better to lose your balance and use your hips to catch yourself than it is to rely on the legs itself. All right, so those are the kind of the three basic, like they're called strategies the body uses to keep your balance within limits of stability. Really important to practice these because it's really good for our reactive balance. We react, we have to be reactive. Most of the time, we don't intentionally lose our balance, right? It's typically something we didn't anticipate happening, and so we have to react to catch ourselves.
Unless you want to kid your kids.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes like a kid or a grandkid might surprise you, might jump and you gotta react, right? So you gotta, being able to adjust. So one other thing, and this is actually a little bit easier, kind of in response to like if a kid or somebody tries to not jump, but like give you a hug or something, and you're surprised. Easier step strategy, a better one to get in the habit of, especially if something's pushing you this way, right, would be stepping backward, right? So step strategy works both ways. And stepping backward most of the time is going to be a little safer because you probably have walked forward. So probably the path that you walked up to that point is not going to be hindered by anything. So you could gently, carefully lean back and just catch yourself. All right. It's a little harder also if you try to just do a hip strategy backward, right? It's a little harder to control. You can, but there's less weight and our body doesn't really hinge backward very well. So it's easier, probably easier. You're leaning back and catch yourself back. And you can kind of counterbalance, throwing the arms forward in this case, right? And that will help. So you're leaning back. And by bringing the arms forward, it makes it even easier, bringing more mass. You do have, there's mass in your arms, and that's going to make it easier to catch yourself. All right. So that's probably the more ideal position. Same with sideways. Something comes sideways at you, we're bendy, a little more bendy in this way. So if we are losing it this way, we could counterbalance this way, or we're leaning, we step, right? Step in the direction you're tipping over. So really good thing to practice. do that a few times. Step sideways or leaning, lose your balance. Leaning. Always let the arms move the opposite direction, or like the direction opposite of where you're falling toward, because it'll help you counter and bring your mass over. Okay. Okay, good stuff. Good reaction with that. Let's do a little stretching. We're going to bring your leg back like so. Get a nice stretch in those ankles. If you can get your ankles to be a little more flexible, it'll help your step strategy to a degree. Help limit or increase the limits of stability a little bit, as well as improving a lot of functional movements like sitting up or standing up from a chair. Switch legs. Okay, relax. Very good. Sit down in the chair. Do a couple hip stretches, knee hug. When we do knee hug, it's good for the lower back, and it's helpful to be, again, reminding yourself to breathe low as you inhale, like kind of gently pushing your stomach against the leg. Switch legs. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Relax, very good. Do our crossover stretch. Cross one leg. Gently press that knee down, hinge forward. Good. Switching legs. Good. We'll do a straight leg stretch. Hinge forward. Really focus on pulling the toes back as you do this. Next, switching legs. Hinge. Pulling the toes back. And relax. Very good. All right. Sit back in our chair. Bring your hands gently behind the head. And lean back. Opening up the chest, shoulders. Lightly extending the back, the upper back. Relax. Bring the elbows and hands together. Open back. We're stretching those chest muscles. Want to help with our posture. Hands out front. Open back, palms up. Hands together and down. Get a stretch in the wrists. Shake it out. Take a nice breath in. And slowly out. And again.